Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Tuesday topic. We've had a video in from Mike.
Hi guys, my topic for this week is looking at getting Tom Davies back into the team. Your thoughts on that? For me, he should be back in the team. I don't think he should have ever been out of it. He's a young player, he's going to make mistakes, you need to stick by them. We're all clamouring for it now because we want a young, energetic player who's going to take the ball forward, try and create opportunities for the strikers, which we're just not doing. But my problem with it is maybe the fan base in terms of, we had it with Ross Barkley, we've already vilified Tom Davies once before, because they take chances, they're going to make mistakes, they're going to lose the ball, we're going to get countered at times because of options that they've taken and then lost the ball. I think if we want that type of player in the team, which I do, they're going to lose the ball. It's part and parcel of it. So we moan that we're all safe and it goes out wide. It's because as a fan base, as soon as someone tries something different and tries a pass, and the moans, the groans, Tom Davies, the abuse he took is being ridiculous. I think we need to get back behind those types of players. If they're going to feel comfortable on the pitch to make those type of decisions and try riskier passes. The Sheffield United goal, that Lundstram pass, we wouldn't have tried a pass like that. The players would have been too nervous to even try it. And I do believe that that's transcending throughout the team. It's even when we go away from home, we won't take chances, and there's no crowd issue there, so we should look to do it a little bit more, but we don't. I just think we need to let the shackles off, let the team grow, let them try and bring out their own personalities on the pitch, and try and be creative, because at the minute, you're falling short anyway with this style of play, and let's be honest, it's absolutely boring. I'm sick of it. I'd rather see some young players on the pitch with the endeavour and the attitude to try things, and I would want to get behind that a lot more than I do. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Obviously very passionate about this subject. Probably not just about Tom Davies, but about the whole thing of how we treat players and how we let players grow in the side. And I think it's a bigger topic, isn't it? Isn't just Tom, because I think it's interesting seeing how John Joe Kenny's getting on in Germany and seeing basically how, because he's playing and because there doesn't seem to be any pressure on him from anywhere, and Schalke seem to have started the season really well, how that's really helping him. Just, I don't know, do we just put far too much pressure on these young players from the start of their careers in England that it just, I don't know, just gets rid of all their natural enthusiasm for the game?
I don't know whether it's enthusiasm. We do put too much pressure on them. We all want the next big thing, don't we? We all compare to other youngsters. Yeah. The press overhype every English player if they're decent anyway. And I think in Germany it seems, I don't know, we don't live in Schalke, so we don't know what pressures their fans are putting on John Joe Kenny, but he's just won Young Rookie of the Month, and last week he was named as the most dangerous defender in the Bundesliga at the moment, and they're talking about trying to keep him after this season on a permanent deal, 4 or 5 games in, so he's obviously done very, very well. Here, it's weird if you're talking about a fan base. We seem to want these youngsters to get in. They get in. We seem to back them at the very start. And then when they have the dip, some people seem ready to just put them on the scrap heap and go, not good enough. Shite, get him out. Some want to see more of it. But the pressure is there. And the problem you've got, particularly at our club, I think, is that we're all desperate for some sort of success. We're desperate for some trajectory. And so if the players come in and they're part of that and it's going along nicely, you're made up with them. But they also seem to be the first ones who people look for the minute you start hitting bumps in the road. Tom came in a blaze of glory. He come in roughly the way the team is now. I think when he broke in, we were looking for something new at the time. He got in the team, was showed, wanted the ball. There's some great through balls for Rahman. We scored goals, the one at Palace for Coleman, and then the City goal, and everyone was made up with him. And then Koeman bought 47 players in the following summer, and since then, he's lost his way a little bit, whether that be where he plays, whether that be a confidence thing. And it's the fans, some fans, it's not all fans, of course, some fans have got on his back. Some people don't think he's good enough. I just look at him and think, he's a young footballer, he's part of our squad. He doesn't have to be the next Steven Gerrard or the next Frank Lampard or the next. He just has to be good enough to play in our team. I think he's a very, very good player.
I just think he needs games and needs to be allowed to mature, and he needs a position, and he ain't going to get any of those things sitting on the sidelines. And this now is the perfect time, I think, where he should be playing week in and week out. 12 months ago, the manager didn't have any problem putting him in the side, naming him the captain, and giving him games of football ahead of, Gomez coming into the side. But I find this all very strange with the manager, just saying, he basically said that his role in the team would be to replace Gylfi Sigurdsson. Yeah, hasn't replaced Gylfi Sigurdsson once, not even off the bench. He's basically said he's not a number 8, he's not a number 6. So what is he then? Why did you give him a 5-year contract if you had no idea what to do with him? That's from his own. That's from the manager's own words. I don't understand what he is, because every time he's asked a question. Last week he was asked. He played for the under-21s, England under-21s. He had a couple of great games, playing in holding midfield. Not like a traditional hold midfield, not like a defensive, like somewhere where you could pick the ball early, run at people. And when he came back, the first question was, do you think he could play that role? And he was like, no. And then he slightly backtracked on that. I think he probably thought, well, I might have been a bit harsh there. And you think, well, last time we played in the League Cup, Lincoln, he probably should have played in that. I mean, this will go out ahead of the game tonight. We won't know, obviously, for a few hours whether he's in the team. But you look at it and go, we need a little bit of energy and a little bit of drive in midfield. And so, okay, he can be naive at times. He can give the ball up too easy at times. Sometimes he's trying to force things that aren't always there. So, are you willing to give up a little bit of that safeness that you have with someone like Schneidlin for someone who's a little bit more off the cuff than Tom? And I don't know, I think a lot of managers would do that, or say like in Germany, whatever, they do that. But here we'd rather play a player who offers very, very little but is very safe than offer a player who's a little bit more unpredictable, who could eventually become a lot better player. I don't know. I just find it all very strange.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because obviously we signed Gomez permanently, and we signed Jean-Philippe Gbamin in the summer, and Fabian Delph, and Tom was given a 5-year or an extra 4-year extension, better contract. And he's just not, Gbamin's injured and out for weeks. Gomez hasn't played for the last couple of weeks, and yet he's still not getting in. 1 week he's not even in the 18, and then he's sub. He doesn't get on. Like Saturday, for me, was the perfect time to put him on. The game's crying out for him to take the ball forward, and we didn't. We ended up even the Walcott sub. I'd rather put Tom Davis at right wing back and go and get forward. At least he'll cross the ball. Yeah. So it is a little bit weird. I don't know whether it doesn't seem like the type of person to sulk in training or anything like that. He's always, there's a plan for me and I want to do better. And we've always been against the loan for him, haven't we? Because I think he's in our squad and I think he's a useful member of it. But if he's not going to get games, then what are we doing with him? I'm not advocating he goes into the Championship, although if that's all that was on the table, maybe we'd have to look at it. Love him to probably go to Germany and play in Germany because it's the next level. But at the moment, there's no reason why not our team, because our team isn't turning it up. The midfield, for me, is a massive issue for Everton at the moment. I really do. People will have a go to defence, but that defence at that 10 clean sheets in 13 games, the midfield for me is a massive issue. Morgan Schneidlin, in isolation, just looking at his own performance, forget the team, was okay at the weekend. He certainly was. He was neat and tidy and all that. He doesn't offer us anything. He doesn't offer anything to the team. Unless you're under the cosh, he might be the right person to play if you know that you're going to get by. I don't know. I just think I think personally we've moved on past Morgan. I think he can come in isolation with better players. But other than that, our midfield's got no energy. Gylfi Sigurdsson, I don't like singling Gylfi out because he can be such a key player for us. But at the moment, he isn't playing well. He's not dictating games. He's not racking goals in from everywhere. You know, in those last 10 games of the season, last season, he was brilliant for us and he was key. And he scored some great goals and he was picking things off. But with 6 games, we played 7 games, he's played in all of them so far this season. 6 league games and the cup game. And okay, his best game is the cup game. But I'd expect him to be good in that against lower league opposition. But he's not doing it in the league. So that midfield now, for me, needs to be freshened up. And Tom Davies could do that. I mean, at the starting 11, you know, I'd got him in there for the Sheffield Wednesday game alongside Delph and alongside Iwobi, just to have different options. Now, the manager might look at it and go, but this is the perfect game, I think, the Sheffield Wednesday game, to look and go, can they do that role? And if they can't against the Championship side, then you know then in the Premier League might be a step too far. But we don't know. We keep doing the same thing. It's damaging not only the team, but it's damaging someone like Tom Davies, who you rightly said, come back from England. He's been talked up, AD Boothroyd, being like, he's been magnificent for us, and he you know, waltzed through the games. He was brilliant. He controlled and dictated the game. The kids heard that and come back buzzing, and then can't get on the pitch for Everton.
I find it very strange. I really do. I just find the whole thing very, very strange. You're looking for that. You know, we spoke in the final word, and I was talking about someone like Anthony Gordon coming in, but you've already got a kid in there who can offer something. And I know there's the old adage of, you know, players get better when they're not being played. Of course they do, but you know, we've always backed Tom, and I think Tom just wants a chance, and that's all it is. He wants a chance, and I mean, we watched him in pre-season, and you could see how much of a level he was above, like the under-23 players. You know, when he got on the pitch and there was under-23 players on the pitch, you could see his level was just so, just the way he takes the ball and looks after it, and then, you know, make sure he gives it to someone, and then. Whereas under-23 players, they're so naive. So he's miles ahead of all those players, and yet he's only 21. And you just think this is what I just look at him as an actual footballer and think he's a player that you could put into midfield and could drive us forward. And you know, he likes a tackle. He knows how to get a foul. He's nice and positive. He wants to get into the box. Okay, at times, listen. He can make the wrong choice, and his passes can be a little bit short, and he knows he's got to work on all that. I'm sure he does, but I just find it very, very strange that after giving him a good contract extension, that they don't seem to have any use for him.
I look at him and see the way he plays and think someone like Moise Keane will benefit massively from playing with Tom Davies. Think of like when Niasse was in the team and Davies was in there, then balls that he threads through, and the next minute you're in on goal. He got Niasse away loads of times. Remember him playing with Ron? Because Ron was on the shoulder waiting to go. He'd fizz the ball. Now our midfielders don't do that.
I worry that he doesn't. That's maybe one of the reasons why he doesn't get in the team, is because he won't conform to this just getting the ball wide nonsense, and he wants to play his own game.
Mike said there in his question, like the crowd get on his back because he misplaces passes or he gives the ball away because he's trying to play that. The best players play risky passes. That's what it is. And risky passes create chances. Safe passes don't create anything because you're an opposition and you know you're a centre back and you know that when I'm coming forward, well, I play for Everton, so the chances are it's going up there. You can forget about me trying to go in here. You know I'm going wide. If you've got someone like Davies who's trying to fizz balls through defenders, it's a worry to the opposition. Now, sometimes he will give the ball away because that's what he's trying to do. I've seen David Silva give the ball. I'm not ever comparing Tom Davies to David Silva. I'm saying David Silva to me is one of the best footballers to play in the Premier League. Gives the ball away because he's trying to thread balls through. Bernardo Silva, you see Man City trying to make that killer pass and it gets cut out, and sometimes they're caught on the hop, but you know what? Other times they're in the box and it's a goal from nowhere. I watched the 8 goals at the weekend. Yeah. Some of those passes, Everton wouldn't have had the balls to play. They've gone wide. De Bruyne, the first goal, we wouldn't have crossed it from there. You know, he's cut open a team that have gone to sit. Within 10 minutes, they're 3-0 down.
You know, Mike's right about what he's saying about, not just about Tom, you know, he said about Ross Barkley, but it's the entire team. The entire team is just so safe and pedestrian that now and again you just need a little bit of something different. And I think that's what Tom can give you. And listen, we're not sitting here saying, Tom Davies would be in our perfect starting 11, but my God, with the players, with the first choice centre midfield out and being down to playing Snidling and I'm not saying down to being Delph, because Delph's a very good player, but just that lack of energy, just that the wrong makeup, the wrong chemistry in the middle of the midfield. It baffles me that the kid hasn't been given a chance just to come off the bench and change things up a little bit.
I just look and go, it doesn't matter what your perfect midfield is.
Do you know what I mean? Because no one's playing well enough to guarantee that they're in that perfect midfield. So that's why I look at it. It's not as if Everton are winning loads of games and we're going, get him in. Yeah. Get him in the team, take out Gomez or take out Gabaman or take out Delph. We're not playing well. Yeah. There's no cohesion. We're not, everything's going wide. You look at, done the stats for the Sheffield United game, didn't surprise me. 80% of our attacks are down the wings against the team who wanted you to go down the wing so they could head it away. We need to go through the middle. Tom, think of the goals that he's created. Romelu Lukaku, Southampton at home, that fizz ball, it was out of Rom's feet goal. Nias, things like that. Nias's goal against Sunderland in the Carabao Cup, that pass wasn't even on. You know, he looks to get those balls in. Now, I'm not saying he can do that every week. We don't know, because he's not playing every week. But if he played, he'd get more confidence. Some players are getting a chance regardless. Seamus Coleman isn't playing well. He's in every week. Gylfi Sigurdsson isn't playing well. He's in every week. Morgan Schneiderlin's just doing a safe job. He's in every week. You know, there's areas there. Now, okay, Seamus Coleman, there's obviously Sidibe's come in and he might give him a run for his money. But you've got to look and go, everyone's got to be able to have the opportunity to get in, I think.
He's a talented player. But the problem is that if you don't allow talented players, if you don't give them a pathway at least. I mean, you know, look at City with like Foden. They've got Foden, you think he's a very good player, very talented player. They're trying to create a pathway. It's difficult because you've got both Silvers at City. But I imagine that would have been explained to him, though, that this is how we're going to do things.
Let me ask you this. Man City, it's a brick wall with those midfielders and they're not going anywhere. Does Foden play?
I imagine so.
We put him, wouldn't he? If Silva wasn't performing or someone else wasn't performing and Pep looked at him and we'll try him because he's good and he might just be a spark that other people need, he'd be in. You're talking about Phil Foden, who looks like a really good player, trying to get in. The champions who are incredible. And he gets some time and he has to come out other times. In the Cups he plays all the time in the Cups. We're talking about a young player of ours who has just got who captained us last season, by the way. When we went to Leicester, we captained at Arsenal, but we won at Leicester. And he was the captain. And the week later he got dropped. And apparently, you know that I back Silva, but apparently no one said a word to him why he was dropped. He was just out the team and Gomez was in. Okay, Andre Gomez is brilliant, don't get me wrong, but when you just captained the team and played very well, and he did that day, and you're left out the team and no one explains to you, that's not good man management, is it? Now that's story that's going round, you know, and I tend to believe it because I've heard it from 4 or 5 different things. I'm not saying Tom doesn't like Marco and vice versa, because they do, but that's just something that was happening when he was doing well. Now, that's okay, because you could go, well, I've got Gomez in for a reason and I've got Garner and he's playing great and Gylfi's scoring so you have to come out for this. That's fine, but this isn't the moment. If we were winning, if we were third in the league, which to me we should have been, because we should have beat Bournemouth and Sheffield United, he wouldn't really have a leg to stand on at the moment. If we were playing well and we were winning, he'd have to bide his time. But we just lost back-to-back games against, for me, 2 very poor sides. And I don't think Bournemouth are a good side. I'm sorry, I really don't think they're bang average. Sheffield United are limited. And yet, he's still not getting a sniff. Then that's a worry.
It's symptomatic of, like, going back to what we were saying before, about the pressures that we as fans put on the players, like, in general, just because I know what you say. Like, I know what you're saying, and you're right about the demands we place on players because we're desperate for something. But at times, surely it would just be easier to just let players play, and then it's a difficult.
We always want the weak link, though, don't we? We always like to, as fan base,
we do always.
We always try to identify the weak link, don't we? So if you're building a team, you'll go, well, Coleman's not good enough anymore, and he's not good enough anymore, and then the next, well, he's not good enough anymore. And you naturally do that because you think you're trying to build this team in your head that's going to be able to get up to the top. But I look at City sometimes and go, well, Kyle Walker, it's like he looks good sometimes, and then other times he looks like Otamendi, is he great? But they work together. Liverpool, I look at their midfield and go, it's not great, is it? But it is great because it all works together. And so sometimes you're right, you've just got to let players play. Get in, what the manager picks mightn't be necessarily what we pick if the team's doing well. They're all doing a job. I don't think Tom's even been given the opportunity to do any job. I think the last game he started was Watford away when you went.
I just find it very strange, as I said, I go back to a point before where the manager's identified basically who his players are in midfield and has never really identified what Tom is, and I find that very, very strange.
What do you think he is?
I think he's an all-round midfielder. I think he's
Like an 8.
I think he's one of only very few all-round midfielders. I think you could ask him to go into the midfield and do a job, and he'd do it, and he'd add energy. Yes, he'd make mistakes, but he'd do it.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think he will benefit from playing alongside Fabian Delph? Who will probably
I think he would. I think he would. I think,
you
going back to what you said before, I think the makeup of the midfield's completely wrong. I think the shape of it's completely wrong. I think it needs to be completely ripped up and looked at again, especially if there's no Gabama in there. It needs energy. It hasn't got any energy. I think Tom can add energy. I think Tom's one of only... he's the kind of player who I think has got enough brains to understand that if you have to kick someone on the halfway line, you kick them on the halfway line. He's got that kind of brains. He buys free kicks. He drives forward. And, we're searching for perfection when it's simply not there. And that, in fact, what's strange is, and this is what's funny, is that someone like Gylfi Sigurdsson can go all the way through a game without making a mistake, but without actually doing anything. And Sneijder can do exactly the same. Go through a game, and they don't make mistakes because they're safe, right? So like you were saying before. So everyone looks at them and goes, yeah, like I do it all the time when I do player ratings, and I go, Sneijder, what did he do today? Like, and you go, well, he didn't do anything wrong, so therefore I'll give him a 7. But you're like, and then you think, hang on, he didn't do anything. And there's games where Sigurdsson doesn't do anything, and people can go, and this is where people go, oh, his pass completion was 95%, and it's this and that and this and that. You've got eyes, right? You've got eyes, but the flip side of that is when Tom's trying to do things and he gives the ball away and suddenly goes, well, I've just seen him give the ball away with my own eyes. It's like, yeah, but he's trying to do something. He's trying to force something. He's trying to push us up the pitch. He's not being safe because, like you said before, being safe doesn't win you games of football when you're trying to attack. And I think that's where, actually, you wonder if Tom played 90 minutes and he was just safe. Wonder how people would, but what would people say about him? That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's he actually gets more stick for trying to do things than not trying to do things, and that's a weird situation because, like you said before, it's players who are trying to do things, they're forcing, taking risks. They're the ones that win you games of football. They're the ones you wouldn't mind. Like if we had 4 or 5 players that every time they were anywhere in sight of goal had a shot, one of them eventually would go in. And you'd say, well, if you don't, if you take 0 shot, you score 0% of the shots, you don't take.
Well, you miss 100% of the shots.
Yeah, something like that.
Look at Maddison at the weekend.
Yeah.
Got the ball, got it out of his feet, and hit it from 25 yards. Lloris could he have done a bit better? Not Lloris, Gazziga
Yeah.
could he have done possibly,
Yeah.
but he won the game from nothing. Now, if he'd have been playing for us, would he have got that turned and passed it wide?
Yeah, he would have.
Would Tom Davies play for Brendan Rodgers if he was at Leicester?
I think he would.
He would. Because I think Rodgers would go, well, I'm going to see what you've got and put you in. Now, I like Marco. I think he's a good coach, but the question marks are coming thick and fast now because of the treatment of the likes of Tom. I'm not saying Tom will solve everything for us, but we'll all know by playing him, won't we? We'll know whether he improves. Who's to say he doesn't come in to this team, and now because he's got Luca Dean out wide and he's got Bernard and he's got Richarlison and he's got Moise Kean, who's to say all of a sudden his game won't go up because he's actually playing with good footballers.
He's actually one of the senior players in the squad as well, in terms of appearing a time spent at Everton.
But that's what I'm saying. On the pitch, he's playing 2 seasons ago and he's having to give it to Cuco Martina and it's come up and he's giving it to Balassi and Vlasic is giving him it back and all that. Now he's got players who've got pace and who are tricky. Who's to say his game doesn't go? One thing Tom does more than any of our midfielders, and it doesn't work all the time, is drive at defences, and he commits players. Now, okay, sometimes he hangs on too long or he gives a sloppy ball away, but at least he runs at players. The same thing we said about Ross Barkley. Yeah. Whether you liked Ross or not, the one thing he did was he committed defenders because he ran at them. Now, okay, half the time he held on too long or he bollocked it up.
That was the next leaning thing, wasn't it, for him? That's the thing. We're judging players. We're judging young players on being the final product, and they're not. But the only way they're going to become the final product is by actually playing. Now, that's what I don't understand about Tom Davies. Is it what's his pathway? Because if you're going to give him a 4-year extension, you believe he's got something. And I've heard the manager say that numerous times, but so what's his path? You know, I was just going back to, that's what I was saying about Phil Foden before. They were offered loads of loans for him, and Pep Guardiola was like, no, I know what the plan is for him. We've got him for 10, he's a 10-year development. You know, and I look at Tom and I just think, what's the plan? What is the plan for this young player? Where does he go? And that's why I started by talking about John Joe Kenny. You know, they've looked at him and gone, this is perfect for you. Go over there for a year.
Break, isn't it?
You know, Holgate was sort of in a similar position with West Brom. And that's what I find very strange about the Tom Davies situation, is that the manager just seems very reluctant. And don't know whether the manager doesn't like him, but then maybe Marcel Brands does like him. I don't know. You know, that's the conundrum we find ourselves in now. Did they give him a 4-year deal just so that they could tie up, you know, the player, so that if anyone did come in for him, he would get more money for him? Would he just tying the asset up? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it opens up all these questions, doesn't it? Because if the kid's not playing football, then why isn't he? And as I say, we weren't having these conversations at the beginning of the season when all our midfielders were fit. We're having them now when we've only got half a midfield, and that midfield isn't playing well. So, and really, he's the only one as well. He's the only one out of all the players that you can actually say this about, because, you know, no one, I don't think anyone's banging on the door for Holgate to really play, because, you know, there's no other left back, no other goalkeeper. We'll see with Sidibe, I imagine. Bernard and Wobie have both played. No one wants Walcott to play. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean, we've already sort of had this. Well, people have already had this argument. So, don't think there's anyone else in the squad. No, let's not go mad. I don't think there's anyone else in the squad. I think Chen will get chances. I do now. I think he'll get, because the manager again doesn't know his arse from his elbow again in terms of it. He doesn't though, because I think the problem with that is, just very quickly, is he had a settled team and knew that Dom was the focal point, and now the team looks like it needs to change, and maybe now he's going, well, is there room for Chen? Can we play 4-4? Oh, I think that's one of the big. I think that's another topic for another day. But I think Tom is very, very. It's a very strange. I go back to what I said before. The manager was like, "Yeah, Gabaman, Sneijden are 6s. Our 8s are Delph and Gomez. Sneijden's our 10. What does that make Tom Davies then?
Bit of everything.
Well, he is, but Is that a case? I don't know.
It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments on Tom Davies. Would you like to see him play? Do you not think he's good enough? Does he need a loan? And if he does need a loan, where would you like that loan to be? You know, Germany obviously is the place in vogue. Or do you think he needs a dose of reality by going into the Championship? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks to Mike for sending the video as well. You can send your videos. Make sure you send them via WhatsApp or we transfer over to us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.